There are moments when your life stops making sense. Your energy shifts, your path feels unclear, and you begin to wonder if you've lost direction. But you are not lost. You are being realigned. You are being moved toward your truth. There comes a time in every person's life when the world outside looks completely familiar, yet something inside feels strangely unfamiliar. You walk on the same roads, but they feel different. You speak the same words, but they don't carry the same meaning. You meet the same people, but you no longer feel the same connection. It is as if your physical life is moving through old pathways, but your inner being has already begun traveling somewhere new. This feeling is not losing yourself. This feeling is the beginning of finding yourself. When you feel lost, you are not moving away from life, you are moving away from the life that was never yours. People think being lost means you have no direction. But the truth is, being lost means the old direction has stopped working. Life does not confuse you to punish you. Life confuses you to cleanse you. Confusion is the first step of clarity. Emptiness is the first step of fullness. Silence is the first sign of real change. Nothing in existence collapses without reason. When a chapter ends suddenly, when a path disappears, when your old self stops feeling real, it is not destruction, it is redirection. A river does not flow in a straight line. It moves, curves, bends, turns, not because it is lost, but because it is alive. The same is happening within you. Your soul is shifting direction, but your mind still wants the old path. And this inner conflict creates the feeling you call lost. The truth is, the moment you feel lost, you are already moving in the right direction. You are moving away from old energies, old habits, old beliefs, old versions of yourself, old people who no longer match your frequency. The old must fall away so that the real can rise. This falling feels painful, but it is sacred. Whenever life wants to take you higher, it first removes where you don't belong. Not gently, but completely. Not slowly, but suddenly. That suddenness is what shakes you. The ground beneath your feet disappears. The path ahead becomes foggy. The past loses its meaning. The future has no definition, and the present feels empty. You begin to wonder, what is happening to me? Why is nothing clear? Why do I feel so disconnected? This disconnection is not death, it is rebirth. Your soul is trying to detach you from the noise you outgrew, from the people who cannot come with you, from the versions of you that survived but never lived. Feeling lost is the moment the old world dissolves and the new one has not yet appeared. It is the sacred space between two selves, the old self ending and the true self beginning. This space is uncomfortable because the mind cannot understand it. The mind only knows routine, patterns, security, familiarity. But the soul knows growth, evolution, and truth. So when the soul pulls you forward, the mind tries to pull you backward. Between these two forces, you feel suspended, neither here nor there. That suspension is the reason for your confusion. You are not failing. You are transforming. The mind keeps asking for answers. Where am I going? What should I do next? What is the plan? But the soul whispers only one thing: trust. Trust is terrifying because it demands surrender. Trust is confusing because it has no timeline. Trust feels risky because the future is invisible. Yet, trust is the only bridge between who you were and who you are becoming. You feel lost because your old identity is dissolving. You feel lost because your inner world is expanding. You feel lost because you are shedding layers you didn't even know you carried. You feel lost because your soul is redirecting you toward something deeper. One day, you will realize that feeling lost was the biggest sign that your life was realigning. All the moments when you felt empty were actually moments of cleansing. All the moments when you felt confused were moments of redirection. All the moments when you felt alone were moments of rebirth. All the moments when nothing made sense were moments when your soul was rewriting your destiny. The universe does not create emptiness to scare you. It creates emptiness so that something new can enter. The path you are walking now may feel uncertain, but uncertainty is fertile. Uncertainty is where possibilities live. Uncertainty is the space where the soul breathes freely. Everything you are feeling right now, the heaviness, the confusion, the emptiness, the disconnection, is not a sign of your life collapsing, but of your life clearing. Your soul is removing what is not aligned so that what is truly yours can finally find you. You are not lost. You are being returned to yourself. Slowly, quietly, beautifully. There is a hidden intelligence in your life that you rarely notice. When things stop working, when people drift away, when plans collapse, when motivation fades, when your heart suddenly feels empty, this is not coincidence. This is life rearranging itself around you. This is your soul guiding you away from what was draining you, even if you didn't realize it. Feeling lost is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of realignment. You may not see it now, but nothing is being taken away from you. Only what is untrue, heavy, or misaligned is falling apart. Life removes what blocks your path before revealing where you are going. And that removal feels like confusion. It feels like loneliness. It feels like disconnection. It feels like breaking. But you must remember, breaking is not ending. Breaking is opening. Your soul does not move in straight lines. Evolution is not a straight path. It is a spiral. You return to old emotions, old wounds, old fears, not because you fail to heal them, but because each level of your journey requires a deeper release. The confusion you feel now is not the same confusion you felt years ago. This one is wiser, quieter, more aware. The more awakened you become, the more subtle your inner transformations. The mind cannot understand this. The mind wants clarity before movement. But the soul gives movement before clarity. You are being moved. You are being shifted. You are being carried forward by forces within you that are older than your memories and wiser than your thoughts. The mind keeps asking, what is happening to me? The heart already knows you are changing. When your soul changes direction, it disconnects you from everything that is not aligned with your next chapter. Not because those things were wrong, but because they are complete. The chapter ends not when you finish reading it, but when the chapter has nothing more to teach you. And life knows when it is time to turn the page, even when you resist. Many times, You feel lost because you're still trying to walk a path that your soul has already left. You keep trying to revive old meanings, old people, old energy, old dreams, old desires. But the inner world has moved on. What once felt full now feels empty. What once felt inspiring now feels draining. What once felt important now feels distant. This emptiness is not a void. It is a reset. It is the soul clearing the space for something new to enter. You may think you are losing direction, but what you are actually losing is attachment to the wrong direction. There comes a moment when you must stop fighting the transformation. You must stop telling yourself that you are lost. You must stop forcing yourself to feel the way you used to feel. You must stop trying to go back to an older version of yourself. You are not supposed to go back. You are supposed to rise. And rising requires space. Rising requires silence. Rising requires disconnection. Rising requires emptiness. Rising requires trust. Trust that life knows what you do not. Trust that your soul sees what your mind cannot. Trust that the path ahead is forming even when you cannot see it. Trust that the pause in your life is a preparation. Trust that the confusion in your heart is cleansing. Trust that the stillness you feel is sacred. You are not lost. You are between stories. You are between identities. You are between lifetimes. You are between who you were and who you are becoming. This in-between phase feels uncomfortable because the mind has no control here. The mind wants a map, but the soul gives a compass. The mind wants certainty, but the soul gives direction. The mind wants speed, but the soul gives timing. When your soul redirects you, life becomes silent. People become distant. Plans stop working. Desires fade. Motivation disappears. Everything slows down. This slowing is not depression. It is alignment. You are being asked to stop running toward what is not yours. You are being asked to sit in the space where the old dissolves and the new begins to form. This space is sacred. Do not rush through it. Do not fear it. Do not judge it. Do not resist it. Sit with it. Breathe within it. Allow it. Because in this silence, your next path will reveal itself. Not through thought, but through clarity. Not through force, but through intuition. Not through effort, but through awakening. You are being prepared to step into a life that aligns with your true energy, not your past identity. You may not know where you're going, but you can feel where you no longer belong. You can feel what no longer fits. You can feel what no longer resonates. This is guidance. This is direction. This is redirection. The soul does not speak in words. It speaks in feelings. Confusion means not this. Emptiness means not here. Tiredness means not anymore. Disconnection means you've outgrown this. Oh, stillness means wait. Peace means yes, you are not lost. You are being guided through the invisible path that leads you back to yourself. There is a phase in every inner journey where nothing feels aligned anymore. The things that once inspired you suddenly feel empty. The people who once felt close now feel far. The dreams that once excited you no longer have the same spark. The life you built with so much effort begins to feel foreign, as if it belongs to someone you used to be. This discomfort is not a mistake. It is a sign that your inner frequency has changed before your outer life could catch up. Life always transforms inside first. The shift begins in the unseen, in the silent corners of your being, before it becomes visible to the world. And when that inner shift happens, everything you have outgrown begins to fall away. Not gently, not slowly, but naturally. You begin to feel separated not because you are empty, but because you are expanding. Your soul is stretching beyond the limits that your old life created. The feelings of being lost come because the mind cannot understand the spaces the soul is entering. The mind wants to stay where things are familiar, but the soul wants to move where things are true. Losing interest is guidance. Feeling disconnected is direction. Not knowing what you want anymore is cleansing. Feeling confused is the beginning of clarity. Feeling detached is the preparation for alignment. The universe removes what is heavy so that you can rise without weight. But rising feels like falling when you don't know what you are rising into. You may feel like you're losing your identity, but you're actually shedding your limitations. You may feel like you're losing your path, but you're actually stepping onto your real one. You may feel like you don't know yourself anymore, but you're actually meeting yourself for the first time. This is the paradox of awakening. You feel lost right before you become found. Life must pull you away from the wrong people to bring you toward the right ones. Life must remove the wrong path. To reveal the right one, life must empty you. Before filling you with the truth your heart was built for, everything you're losing now is making space for what you're ready for. And even if you cannot see that new chapter yet, you can feel it. You can feel the pull, the quiet shift, the subtle awakening, the inner readiness. You can feel that something inside you is changing. Your priorities are changing. Your desires are changing. Your energy is changing. Your boundaries are changing. Your whole being is rearranging itself. This inner rearrangement creates silence. A silence the mind fears, but the heart understands. Silence is where the soul speaks. Silence is where direction forms. Silence is where clarity is born. Silence is where awakening breathes. Many people try to fill this silence with noise, with distractions, with people, with entertainment, with old habits, with old wounds, with old versions of themselves. But you cannot fill a space that life created to awaken you. You are not meant to force answers right now. You are not meant to rush the next step. You are not meant to cling to the past. You are not meant to pretend you are okay. You are not meant to stay small for anyone. You are not meant to continue stories that your soul is finished with. You are meant to pause. You are meant to breathe. You are meant to release. You are meant to surrender. You are meant to wait for what is aligned. You are meant to trust the unknown. The unknown is not empty. The unknown is full of everything you have been asking for, everything you are becoming, everything meant for your next chapter. But to receive it, you must become soft enough, open enough, still enough, silent enough to allow it in. Feeling lost breaks the illusion of control so that trust can take root. Feeling lost breaks attachment so that freedom can enter. Feeling lost breaks old identities so that the true self can rise. Every time your soul grows, your life will feel too small for a moment. You will feel the discomfort I am describing. A discomfort not of pain, but of expansion. Your old self is fading. Your new self is forming. You are in between the two, and this in between is the birthplace of transformation. You must not fear this space. You must not rush to escape it. You must not force clarity. You must not resist the shift. Your soul knows exactly what it is doing. It always has. It always will. One day, you will look back and everything will make sense. The people who left, the paths that ended, the dreams that died, the confusion you hated, the emptiness you feared, the silence that felt heavy, the loneliness that broke you, the pause that frustrated you. All of it was not punishment. It was preparation. Life was not taking things away from you. Life was taking you away from what was not meant for you. You are not lost. You are being recalibrated. You are being initiated. You are being guided. You are being transformed. You are walking into the version of yourself that your soul always knew, but your mind could never imagine. This is not the end. This is the beginning. You are exactly where you need to be, even if your mind cannot see it yet. There comes a point in your inner journey where the feeling of being lost does not feel like fear anymore, but like fatigue. You are not scared. You are simply tired. Tired of repeating old patterns. Tired of pretending. Tired of forcing things to work. Tired of carrying people who don't carry you. Tired of acting strong when your heart wants softness. Tired of holding yourself together when life wants you to let go. This tiredness is not depression. This tiredness is spiritual exhaustion, a sign that your soul has begun rejecting anything that is not aligned with your truth. You reach a place where your old life feels too small, too tight, too heavy for who you are becoming. It's like wearing clothes 2 sizes smaller. You can still fit inside them, but it hurts. Your soul wants space. It wants breath. It wants truth. It wants expansion. And the universe will not allow you to shrink yourself anymore. Not now. Not after everything you've outgrown. This inner discomfort is not there to break you. It is there to push you out of what you have already completed. Life does not allow you to stay where you no longer belong. It will shake, pull, remove, confuse, silence, anything to move you forward. Your mind will say, "But I don't know where I'm going." Your soul will whisper, "That is because the next path is not chosen. It is revealed." And revelation requires emptiness. Revelation requires stillness. Revelation requires trust. Revelation requires space. You cannot receive clarity if you are full of old stories. You cannot receive new energy if you are trapped in old emotions. You cannot walk the new path while holding on to the old one. Your feeling of being lost is simply the moment when the old is gone and the new has not yet arrived. This moment feels frightening because the mind depends on certainty. But certainty is a cage, and the soul is too vast to live in a cage. So the cage breaks. The plans fail. The people leave. The desires fade. The path dissolves. The identity cracks. Not because you are losing everything, but because you are losing what was never truly yours. There is a deeper intelligence in your being that removes all, that weakens you, even when you think you need it. It breaks your illusions, even while you cling to them. It empties your heart, even while you try to fill it with the familiar. It pulls you inward. even when you try to run outward. This intelligence is your soul, and when the soul takes over, life becomes unpredictable but authentic. You must understand something essential. A soul-led life does not begin with clarity. A soul-led life begins with surrender. Clarity comes after trust, not before it. People wait for direction before letting go, but life gives direction only after letting go. Letting go is proof to the universe that you are ready for alignment. Your soul will not allow you to remain in situations that dim your inner light. It will not allow you to stay surrounded by people whose presence breaks your peace. It will not allow you to betray yourself, to keep others comfortable. It will not allow you to carry responsibilities that are not yours. It will not allow you to repeat cycles that your spirit has already learned from. This is why you feel disconnected from your old life, because your soul has outgrown it. Your mind says, I feel lost, but your soul says, I feel free. Your mind says, nothing makes sense, but your soul says, everything is shifting. Your mind says, I don't know who I am anymore, but your soul says, you are finally becoming who you truly are. Your mind sees darkness. Your soul sees depth. Your mind sees silence. Your soul sees rebirth. Your mind sees emptiness. Your soul sees cleansing. Your mind sees endings. Your soul sees beginnings. And one day, you will look back and realize that the moments where you felt most lost were the moments where you were most guided. The universe guided you by removing the people who drained you, by closing the doors that limited you, by breaking the patterns that confined you, by ending the chapters that weakened you, by silencing the noise that distracted you, by emptying the spaces that suffocated you. This guidance does not always feel gentle, but it is always intentional. Feeling lost is not the end of the road. It is the turning point. It is the moment the path you walk with your mind is replaced by the path you walk with your soul. You become quieter. You become deeper. You become softer. You become more aware. You become more present. You become more authentic. You start listening to your intuition more than your fears. You start trusting your sensations more than your doubts. You start valuing peace more than approval. You start following alignment more than expectation. Slowly, you feel something shifting within you. The confusion loosens. The heaviness softens. The fog begins to lift. And a new clarity rises, not from the mind, but from your being. This clarity does not come as loud answers. It comes as a quiet knowing, a soft pull, a gentle direction, a subtle alignment, a feeling that says, this way. And when that feeling appears, all the confusion that once frightened you suddenly makes sense. You were never lost. You were simply clearing the path for the life that was meant for you. There is a stage in your spiritual journey where life becomes strangely quiet. Not peaceful quiet, empty quiet. The old emotions that once controlled you begin to fade, but the new emotions have not yet arrived. The old identity has loosened, but the new identity is still forming. The old path has ended, but the new path has not yet appeared. You stand in the middle of this invisible transition, feeling everything and nothing at the same time, wondering if something is wrong with you. But nothing is wrong. This is the space where the soul does its deepest work. In this space, nothing external feels satisfying. Not conversations, not routines, not habits, not old relationships, not old dreams, not old ambitions. It feels as if the world has become distant, not in a painful way, but in a truthful way. You are not detaching from life. You are detaching from illusions. This detachment is not coldness, it is clarity. When the soul begins to reset your direction, it disconnects you from anything that lowers your frequency. You start to feel the weight of things you used to carry easily. You start to sense the truth behind people's words. You start to see through old patterns. You start to notice how much you gave to people who didn't value your energy. You start to recognize the parts of yourself that were acting out of fear instead of authenticity. This recognition hurts at first, but it heals forever. You are not being punished for awakening. You are being purified. And purification is not gentle. It burns. It strips away. It empties. It exposes. It dissolves everything that you thought was you but was actually just survival. There are moments when the emptiness inside feels like loneliness, but it is not loneliness, it is liberation. You are not losing people, you are losing attachments. You are not losing direction, you are losing illusions. You are not losing your old self, you are losing the weight of who you pretended to be. Your soul knows that you cannot enter the next chapter carrying the burdens of the previous one. That is why you feel lost. Not because you are without direction, but because you are being removed from the wrong direction. Feeling lost means your soul is refusing to let you stay where you don't belong. And this refusal can feel like chaos to the mind, because the mind only understands logic. But the soul only understands truth. Truth does not care about comfort. Truth cares about growth. So the universe pulls you away from what is small, even if you loved it. It removes people who limit your expansion, even if you were attached to them. It dissolves paths that drain your spirit, even if they once inspired you. It silences desires that came from your ego, even if they look like success. This removal is your redirection. You are not falling apart. You are falling into alignment. Alignment is not about what feels good instantly. Alignment is about what feels true eternally. Sometimes the truth is slow. Sometimes the truth is silent. Sometimes the truth is uncomfortable. Sometimes the truth is empty, but it is always the truth. And once your soul chooses truth, your mind has no power to force you back into old patterns. This rebellion of the soul feels like confusion to the mind. You feel torn inside because your heart and mind are moving at different speeds. Your mind is trying to hold on. Your soul is trying to move on. Your mind is fighting for familiarity. Your soul is fighting for freedom. Your mind is afraid of the unknown. Your soul is made for the unknown. This tension is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of awakening. Awakening does not happen gently. Awakening happens ruthlessly. It breaks everything false inside you. It exposes the truth behind every attachment. It removes everything that blocks your light. Awakening is destruction. Before it becomes liberation, you must allow this spiritual destruction. You must allow the collapse. You must allow the emptiness. You must allow the disconnection. You must allow the silence. Because silence is the soil of transformation. When the noise inside you stops, when the old identity dissolves, when the familiar patterns break, when the familiar emotions fade, there is a sacred pause. A pause where life stops moving outside, so it can begin moving inside. This pause feels uncomfortable because the mind hates stillness. The mind is addicted to stimulation. It needs something to think about, something to worry about, something to compare, something to chase, something to fear. But the soul needs nothing. The soul needs only awareness. This is why you feel lost, because your mind is losing control and your soul is gaining power. The more lost you feel, the more aligned you actually become. The more you break, the more you open, the more you let go, the more you receive. The more silence you embrace, the more clarity enters. The more you trust the unknown, the more the path reveals itself. There will come a moment, quiet, gentle, unexpected, where the confusion inside you will fade like fog in the morning. You will wake up one day and feel something different, a quiet knowing, a subtle direction, a soft guidance, a shift in your chest, the feeling that says, now. This is the moment your soul has been preparing you for. This is the moment the redirection becomes clear. This is the moment the path you were searching for was silently forming under your feet all along. You were never lost. You were being rebuilt. You were never abandoned. You were being recentered. You were never confused. You were being opened. You were never falling behind. You were being aligned. Lostness was not your end. It was your bridge. Your soul has been guiding you all along. You just needed to pause long enough to hear it. There is a moment in every seeker's life when everything goes quiet. Not because you found peace, but because life has paused you on purpose. You try to move forward, but nothing responds. You try to go back, but the past feels dead. You try to create new plans, but your energy refuses to cooperate. It feels as if existence has placed a hand on your chest and whispered, "Stop. Do not rush. Do not run. Something inside you must shift before your life can." This is the sacred standstill, a pause given not by weakness, but by wisdom. Most people fear this stillness because the mind hates losing control. The mind wants direction, goals, plans, answers, explanations. But the soul is not interested in any of these. The soul is interested in alignment. And alignment requires a silence the mind cannot understand. When you feel stuck, you are not stuck. You are being held in place, so your inner world can rearrange itself. The soul works silently. It reorganizes your emotions. It rewires your intuition. It cleans your energy field. It dissolves the attachments that weaken you. It softens the fears that control you. It removes the desires that are not truly yours. It breaks the illusions you were living inside of. And this inner rearrangement looks like being lost. But it's not lostness, it's recalibration. You are not being stopped, you are being prepared. The universe stops your movement outside to deepen your movement inside. During this time, you may feel disconnected from everything. People feel distant. Conversations feel shallow. Old dreams feel meaningless. Familiar places feel empty. Your own thoughts feel foreign. This disconnection is not a problem. It is protection. The universe pulls you away from noise so you can hear your soul again. You are shedding layers that no longer belong to you. Layers of fear, layers of ego, layers of identity, layers of expectations, layers of emotional baggage that you have been carrying for years without knowing. Every time you feel lost, your soul is discarding something that was limiting your growth. Something you thought you needed, something you thought defined you, something you thought you could not survive without. But your soul knows better. It removes gently at first and forcibly when you resist. This removal feels like confusion. It feels like emptiness. It feels like collapse. But that collapse is sacred. A building cannot be reconstructed until the old weak structure is broken down. In the same way, your old self must fall apart so the real self can rise. You may not realize it now, but you are in the middle of a rebirth. Rebirth does not happen in light. Rebirth happens in darkness, in the quiet, in the nothingness, in the moments when you feel lost, tired, disconnected, and undone. This undoing is necessary. The parts of you built on fear must fall. The parts of you built on survival must dissolve. The parts of you built on trauma must be released. The parts of you built on expectations must be shed. Then slowly, the parts of you built on truth begin to rise. You start becoming quieter inside. Your reactions soften. Your triggers dissolve. Your boundaries strengthen. Your clarity sharpens. Your heart opens. Your intuition awakens. You begin to navigate life from awareness, not wounds. This shift is subtle but powerful. And because the shift is internal, the outer world feels blurred for a while. You don't fit into your old life anymore. You don't feel connected to old friends. You don't feel motivated by old goals. You don't feel excited by old dreams. This is not failure. This is evolution. The soul does not want you to shrink into old versions of yourself. The soul wants you to expand into who you were always meant to be. But expansion requires emptiness. A flower cannot bloom while still trapped inside the seed. It must break open, tear itself apart, split through its own shell before it can rise into the sun. You are in that breaking open stage, and it hurts. But the pain is not punishment. It is growth. The soul breaks you open so the light inside you can finally breathe. One day soon, this emptiness you feel will turn into clarity. The confusion will turn into direction. The heaviness will turn into strength. The silence will turn into guidance. The lostness will turn into purpose. And the moment it happens, you will realize something profound. You were never lost. You were being rearranged. You were never falling apart. You were being freed. You were never stuck. You were being redirected. You were never abandoned. You were being aligned. Every moment of stillness was your soul preparing you for the life meant for you. And when the time is right, the next step will appear so naturally, so effortlessly, so beautifully, that you will understand why everything had to happen exactly the way it did.